Andor has never been a series chock full of Star Wars Easter eggs, but I still picked out a decent amount from the third arc. Here are all the bigger ones I caught. In the opening shot, we can see a Jabiim freight transport arriving at the Yavin base. That ship was first created for Obi-Wan Kenobi and was last seen under Roken's command. Maybe this is his ship. He did tell Obi-Wan he was only getting started in his fight against the Empire. Bistan can be seen walking around the base in the background. He was the Iakaru first seen in Rogue One who goes down fighting in the Battle of Scarif. We can also see a Tarsunt mechanic in a handful of shots. They seem to love working in that position for the Rebel Alliance and the Resistance. On Gorman, Imperial newscasters can be seen spreading propaganda with the help of camera droids similar to the ones that fly around the Galactic Senate in The Phantom Menace and other Star Wars stories. Partagaz says Krennic has had the lab on Edu working overtime to find a suitable replacement for Calkite. We see that lab in Rogue One, where Jyn briefly reunites with her father, Galen Erso. The security gates seen outside the Imperial headquarters on Gorman are similar to those we've seen in other Imperial installations like the Fortress Inquisitorius on Nur from Obi-Wan Kenobi. The concept of healing through the Force has been seen in many Star Wars stories like The Mandalorian, The Rise of Skywalker, Tales of the Empire, and tons of Legends examples. I like the idea of this Force healer who doesn't have the strength of a Jedi, but she's just doing her best, and yet she can still sense the Force working through Cassian. AL-1L3, or Allie, is a droid that can be seen walking around the Yavin base. She was first created for The Rise of Skywalker as part of the Resistance, and was said to have been witness to the Kessel droid uprising, which inspired her to rebuild herself similar to L337. General Draven returns to Andor. Played by Alistair Petrie, Davitz Draven first appeared in Rogue One, and his story continues on in the Star Wars comics, where he is eventually killed by Darth Vader himself. General Dodonna is also given a mention. That character first appeared in A New Hope, but was brought back for Rogue One, where he was played by Ian McElhinney. Tony Gilroy said in an interview that he had hoped to bring many Rogue One characters back for Andor, but the scheduling didn't work out for all of them. But for some Rogue One elements that did return for the series, Cassian has his U-Wing already, which I assume is the exact same ship he flies in the movie. We see the return of the Imperial KX security droids. Their brutal attacks line up with how they fight in the Star Wars Jedi series of video games. Andor gives us a new introduction for K2SO, which overrides a one-shot comic that originally told that story. And of course, the entire second episode of the third arc tells the story of the Gorman Massacre. This version of it was first established in the Star Wars Rebels episode Secret Cargo, which was the first story to place the event in the year 2 BBY, and now we can see it in all of its horror. In response to the massacre, Mon Mothma delivers a speech, holding Emperor Palpatine responsible for the attack. We saw a bit of that speech in the same Star Wars Rebels episode, or maybe they're meant to be two separate speeches made in very quick succession to one another. Either way, the general messaging of the speech is the same. Inside the Senate, we can see Imperials in blue uniforms. That color has classically been reserved for members of Senate security going all the way back to the Phantom Menace. The Senate is being broadcast across SNN, which is written in Arabesh. I assume that stands for Senate News Network. After Mothma's speech and escape, it's said she's going to be brought somewhere else to deliver a new speech with a Gold Squadron escort. Once again, this is all from the Star Wars Rebels episode Secret Cargo. We see her and Gold Squadron travel to Dantooine with the help of Harrison Dula and the crew of the Ghost to finally rally the individual Rebel cells across the galaxy into a single Rebel alliance. But those are all the major Easter eggs and references I caught. Let me know what I missed in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our Andor coverage, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.